Come off it, Lewis. You're bragging.
Yeah, Lewis, you'd be the first to run for cover at the sound of gunfire.
You know, if the Allies had adopted my strategy, the Germans would have been defeated earlier. They've never been challenged to hand-to-hand combat. I think Lee and Taylor would have been better at it than the Germans.
Oh yeah. See, what would happen if Romo had wanted to play one-on-one basketball instead of just fighting with tanks?
Why would you want to play basketball in the desert?
Well, it would have saved a lot of effort and many people's lives. And it's more interesting.
Then he would have been in trouble.
No way. Germans can't play basketball.
Aww.
It's true that the Germans don't like to play basketball, but that doesn't mean they couldn't be good at it if they wanted to be.
You know, you don't always have to stand up for your countrymen, Hannah.
And you don't have to pick on them either.
Viewpoints are unrealistic. War is not a game. Let's get back to Nazi history in World War II. You have to know that for the Nazis, war was just a pretext for killing people and engaging in unrestrained slaughter.
Mr. Stein, I found they kept changing their tactics throughout the war.
Nazi tactics were to simply make people they didn't like disappear as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Mr. Stein, I'm not interested in playing and bullets, but I feel that fascists were guilty of atrocities of killing innocent people.
And killing their spirits.
Yes, Xuan, you're right.
Yes, I agree. I mean that...
Don't rush, Xiao. You can say it slowly.
Wars are brutal, but when I ran across information about concentration camps, I found it was too...
Horrifying?
Yes, horrifying.
If both sides were armed, at least they could defend themselves. If the soldiers were shooting at innocent civilians, the civilians were helpless.
Exactly. That's what the Germans did.
As well as the Italians and the Japanese. The Japanese also killed many Chinese civilians in World War II.
They were all fascists.
When I read articles written by Jews, I felt sorry for them because the Nazis hated them so much.
Yes, the Jews were the most innocent victims in World War II in Europe. Who will be the first to give me the total?
547,500.
Excellent, Xuan. Your parents don't have to waste money on calculators.
Is that your bank balance, Mr. Stein?
I wish it were. Unfortunately, this total represents people, not money. My father used to tell me that this was the number of Jews incinerated in concentration camps over a 5-year period.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Stein. I didn't know that you are...
Yes, Chun. I'm Jewish. To you, I'm just a history teacher. But in Europe, we Jews were easily recognized, especially by Germans.
Excuse me, Mr. Stein, but I'm German.
Well, Hannah, I already know there are students from different countries in this classroom.
Well, Mr. Stein, I don't think it's necessary to continuously emphasize the failings of the German people.
You're not looking at it the right way, Hannah. The Germans I spoke of are those my father encountered when he was a child. Then, many Jews were forced to undress, to face death at gunpoint. Among those who died in this way were my grandparents, uncles and aunts, 7 people from my family. My father was supposed to go to the gas chamber the next day, but at sunrise, a Russian soldier liberated the camp.
太可怕了！你说犹太人怎么这么倒霉呢？
哎，你看没看过辛德勒名单？那个电影就是根据真事儿拍的。
啊，没错。而且呢，那个电影的好多演员啊，都是当时的幸存者他们的后代。给我印象最深的就是烧犹太人那一段，就见那个大烟筒一股一股往外冒黑烟。
哎呦，真恶心！你快别说了。不行，今天晚上我不能直接回家，我得找个好玩的地儿逛逛，不然连晚饭都吃不下去了。
对，我也挺堵的啊，干脆咱们打乒乓球去吧。
哎，那你们先去吧，我要去下图书馆。哈哥今天出的题目啊，我特别有兴趣，想为下堂课做点准备，是吧？你们到图书馆来找我。
你还没折腾够你自己啊？他的课是挺好听的， 不过这几节课内容我不喜欢，那不是讲打仗啊，就是杀人的，听着我就觉得别扭。再上几节课，我估计我要成神经病了。
哎，我觉得哈娜今天上课挺别扭的，是不是因为 Mr. Stein 总在说德国人，他感觉不舒服啊？
不至于吧？啊 ，Mr. Stein 是说德国人，可这跟他有什么关系啊？他又不是纳粹。
别瞎说，让别人听了找事儿。
兄弟，你是得注意点儿。咱们学校可一直很注意不同国家之间的学生的关系的。
不是，这跟我有什么事儿？又不是我不想跟他搞好关系，他自己跟 Mr. Stein 较劲，是吧？
嗯，我也觉得他那么说有点不大合适。他光说希特勒、说法西斯就行了，没有必要重复那么多遍的 German。
可能是 Mr. Stein 这样说习惯了吧。其实也不能怪他，照他上辈人的经历，要他喜欢德国人恐怕也难。
就是，德国人就是可恨。你说他们干那点事儿，能让犹太人说他们好话吗？
也是的，不就是个历史课吗？
可是以前的事儿，后来的人老是没完没了的提，也挺麻烦的。
可能历史就是挺麻烦的，关键是他让人忘不掉。就像 Mr. Stein， 他这一辈子也忘不了他父亲在集中营的事儿啊。
那干脆不说历史不就完了？你不说，谁还知道啊？
别瞎扯了，你不说就没人说。再说你不说，这事就不存在了。
兄弟说的对，历史不是你不说就行的，你说不说历史还是历史。
哎呦妈呀，我怎么听着跟俩哲学教授似的？不过我觉得好像哈娜也不愿意提起那段历史。
这我可不好说，反正他今天确实挺不高兴的。
哎，别在下回上课 ，Mr. Stein 再一提，哈娜急了可就麻烦了。就他那脾气。
All right, let's get back to our topic. Some of you have already made a good effort to raise some of the issues. During World War II, the scene in Germany was horror. Concentration camps were the stage, the incinerators the props, the killing of 6 million Jews the action.
Just a minute, Mr. Stein.
You have a question, Hannah?
You're focusing on German people again. I was hoping that you would stop doing that.
Politicians play name games, but historical facts can't be changed.
But what you've been saying has made me feel very uncomfortable. You've painted all Germans as villains.
That wasn't my intention.
What if I had been cheated by a Jew, and then began to curse all Jews?
At that time, not one, but millions of Jews were killed by many Germans.
Mr. Stein, you must apologize. I think you've just accused all Germans.
No, Hannah. My family was German. I don't blame all Germans. I blame the generation.
You can convict the Germans who killed your family. I would too. But you can't just convict the millions of other Germans.
Without those millions of other Germans, Hitler would have been powerless. And if I didn't have values and convictions, I wouldn't be qualified to be your teacher.
So you won't apologize?
There's nothing to apologize for.
In that case, I'm gonna go talk to the headmaster.
Come in.
Mr. Douglas, can I speak to you for a second, please?
Your name is?
My name is Hannah. I'm an overseas student from Germany.
And just what is it you wish to discuss with me?
I really didn't appreciate the lecture that Mr. Stein gave about the German people during World War II. I demand an apology, and if I don't get one, I will be withdrawing from this school, and I will be suing.
Class dismissed. Free to go.
Mr. Stein, I think you should talk things over with Hannah. I only learned my World War II history from books and movies, but I feel about it the same way you do. And I think that Hannah's reaction is predictable and reasonable.
She was prepared to overlook a whole era of history. Her attitude seemed to be that it was a long time ago after all. No, there are some things that you can't and mustn't forget. I know there were painful periods in Chinese history, and you can ask about them in seniors' homes.
Good morning. I repeat, Hannah, I will deal with this issue. Please don't say anything to Mr. Stein the next time you see Mr. Stein. Mr. Stein, would you please drop into my office?
Sure. Hannah, you missed the last part of our discussion. Would you like to take a look at the reference list I put on the blackboard? Take some books out of the library to help you understand the history of World War II and the Jews?
Let's go.
Oh, hi. Let's go.
Hannah, I think you should talk over things with Mr. Stein.
No.
You know what? Mr. Stein is always nice to us, and he's a great teacher, you know. Don't be mad because he said something you really didn't like.
You guys know that I like Mr. Stein in his history class, but his views are slanted. He's blind to the fact that the German people of today aren't the same German people of World War II. And what's worse is that he's teaching this view to all the kids from all over the world. Like, this is what's the discrimination. If he doesn't apologize, I will be suing him. Excuse me.
Hannah!
Hannah， 怎么样？让我说着了吧？上次Hannah就一脸不高兴，今儿啊再欲火上浇油。
那他也不能那样啊！好歹 Mr. Stein 是咱们老师。
他们可不管那个。
那这么继续闹下去，对谁都没好处。这学期的历史课本来就挺多的，学分也占了不少。如果真像汉娜说的那样，那可就麻烦了。
也是啊，要不咱们帮着劝劝。
说的容易，劝谁啊？一个比一个拧。
哎，刚才汉娜的一句话倒提醒了我，正好我也要去图书馆，我倒有一个办法，说不定能把他们双方的火气都给消了。
哎，什么办法？你快说。
我是想，我也不知道行不行。
哎，你累不累啊？你快说。
那你们要有兴趣，我们就一起做。路上我告诉你们。
我去，只要能不影响他给咱们上课，也别让汉娜继续闹下去。什么办法我都想试试。
走吧。
Abraham, you know that it's not good to antagonize your students. School policy specifically dictates that teachers must avoid expressing any form of prejudice or discrimination.
Yes, I know that you're responsible for enforcing this policy. But you must also respect my beliefs.
I expect you to either clarify your position or apologize within the next 2 days.
You demand that I erase memories and feelings accumulated over decades, overnight?
Your student has threatened to withdraw from the class, or even
what?
Launch a lawsuit. The school can't afford the bad publicity a lawsuit would generate. The school may be forced to close its doors.
So, you expect teachers to hide their values and convictions?
I want this matter resolved before your next class.
Hey, 楚志文，你看看这段资料能用吗？这儿。
这个恐怕不太行吧？那个没什么具体的统计数据啊。
对，咱们应该找一点实例。
哎，我找到好东西了。
什么呀？
看。
嗨，我们都在正经找资料呢，找什么幻灯片目录啊？
哎，等等，让我看看。哎呀，熊丽，你真是太棒了！你们看上面写的什么？
德国人的
反省。
对啊，而且还是一个德国人编写的，这里面都是图片。如果能让人直观地看见战争给普通人带来了多大的灾难，我想，包括 Mr. Stein 在内，也会不光只对自己的民族的受害者表示同情的。
哎，那赶紧借吧，我看一下编号。
甭管了，我去，你们先拆别的。
say that after World War II, the German people wholeheartedly showed their remorse and were respected for this throughout the world.
As we can see in these pictures, after World War II, the Germany's first elected premier officially declared that the majority of Germans opposed the outrages perpetrated by the Nazis and were innocent of any crimes.
In 1970, a former German premier visited Poland, knelt in front of a Jewish monument and offered an apology to those who died tragically at the hands of the Nazis.
In World War II, it was not only the German fascists, but also Japanese military who committed atrocities against innocent people. In Nanking, where my ancestors were born and lived, the Japanese military killed 300,000 people in just 1 month, and they even used live human bodies to do experiments all over Asia. However, unlike Germans in Europe, the Japanese never officially apologized to any of the Asian countries.
On the 50th anniversary of World War II, Germany built a memorial museum to show the possibilities of the atrocities which were committed during World War II.
Actually, according to what I read in the library, the German people were also suffering in the war. Many marriages and businesses were destroyed, and the people were forced to flee the country, and they were always hurt by armies and other civilians. It was not only the Jews, but also Germans who become victims of Nazi atrocities.
Mr. Douglas, Mr. Stein, fellow classmates, what we have done today is illustrate our viewpoints.
As we read various articles, we discussed the tragic events befell Mr. Stein's family. Hannah's statement encouraged us to take the position that history can be perceived from different points of view. That is, war is bad for everyone. Take one case in point, Japanese military. They slaughtered civilians, but their own family got blown up by atomic bomb.
We wish it were possible for nations to coexist without becoming enemies.
Yeah! Thank you. You did an excellent job. As your headmaster, I'm proud of you all, and I believe that your teacher will be as well.
Yes, I agree. You did very well. Your project exceeded my expectations.
They exceeded my expectations as well. This is an opportunity for you to offer an explanation.
Explanation? What do you expect me to explain? I agree completely with your presentation, but please don't forget, some of your illustrations of what happened to other families also happened to my father. You will never be able to understand how I felt as I was growing up, to see those black numbers branded on his arms.
It sounds just like you're restating whatever you said last class, Mr. Stein.
I can't deny it, Hannah.
What do you think, Mr. Douglas?
Calm down, Hannah. I think I can explain for Mr. Stein.
I don't need any explanation.
Neither do I.
You're all overwrought. I thought that Chun's speech would have resolved this matter. Would you two please come into my office?
I've already been there once. I won't go there again, and I won't change my mind.
I'm sorry. I must leave now. My resignation will be on your desk tomorrow.
Please don't resign, Mr. Stein.
Mr. Stein.
Mr. Stein?
Mr. Stein.
My resignation has nothing to do with any of you. To you, history is nothing but words and pictures in a book. To me, history is numbers branded on an arm. It is life. It is dignity.
Mr. Stein?
Mr. Stein, don't leave us. We need you.
We really didn't think things are going to be like this. We thought that...
I know. There's no one to blame. It's my personal decision.
But is there any other possibilities that you can...
No. I don't want to make things difficult for Mr. Douglas. I respect him, but I also respect myself.
So, we'll never have you for history class again?
I teach history from my heart, and I get a heartfelt response. I love you guys.
Mr. Stein! Is anything else you want to say to us?
Tell Hannah not to be upset. One must never betray one's convictions.
"真没想到，他把信念看得这么重要啊！
他还可以再去应聘别的学校吧。
那要是再发生同样的事儿呢？
他还会走。
你觉得这么做值得吗？
你说呢？
Beautiful job, Yinshin and Sijo. Don't stop. Next music.
Ryan, do me a favor, right? Find out whether the girl has a boyfriend.
Tired of being single, eh?
Yeah, you'd have to first cut out Charlie.
Once they're off stage, man, I like to take the lovely girl out for dinner.
Forget about it. There's other off-stage Charlies.
Yeah, including some from China.
Okay, bring up the stage lights. Good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, Tommy, I want you to really feel the music, okay? Okay, now start to sing.
The river flows slowly, and its path take it past the home of Yingtai. Our friend is together through quickly by, and now our friendship will never end.
Good. Just don't rush it. Okay, Tommy, you've really got to listen to the music. Okay? Express yourself. Okay, lights up on Juying Tai. All right, we should start to dance.
My dearest friend, don't worry so. Your father's good health, the God will restore what you are trying to tell me.
Stop the music. Your dance is supposed to express your inner feelings, your pain and love. You need to focus on the specifics of your movements. And you two need to communicate better, okay? Okay, take a 15-minute break.
Why does he want to stop?
Ryan, can I remind you to find out whether the girl
Has a boyfriend. Yes, yes.
Yeah, be careful. She'll break your heart.
Oh man, the lady can dance.
I agree.
I don't know what you guys call that, but I sure don't call it acting. That was just really terrible. It was so bad. You didn't understand the dance or what the music was about, and you didn't listen to my directions.
I try to understand.
Do you know the meaning of the word understand?
It's one of the first things they teach us.
You understood how to understand what your teachers want you to understand, but you don't understand what I have to make you understand.
I love English tongue twisters. Can you teach me some others?
I can give you a private lesson if you like.
Oh, Johnny, give the lessons here so everyone can enjoy it too.
Go ahead and laugh.
Hello, Mr. Robbins. I'm here.
Ah, Ziwen, welcome. Did you have a hard time finding the house?
I had to ask 2 people along my way, but I managed. Mr. Robbins, your house is...
It upset you?
No. What I'd like to say is... I didn't expect to. Your house is so beautiful and so huge, like a castle. Is it all yours?
Now, that's an interesting question. Ever since I returned to Canada, I keep asking myself, why do I bother to live in a big house like this?
Have you found the answer?
Well, I was at a fundraiser the other day at a very famous jail.
A jail?
Well, you can call it a castle with a big backyard. And the longer I stood there, the more I realized that if you live in a big house, it's like building a big jail for yourself. Cutting yourself off from the rest of the world.
What an original insight.
Look at Johnny. He just struck out with that girl. And so will you.
I'm better looking than Johnny.
Hey, shh, keep your voice down, or Johnny will hear you.
Oh, all these photos of old Shanghai.
So, you recognize Shanghai?
I'm interested in mathematics and architecture. I used to go to libraries and bookstores to saw over historical photographs like these.
So, we have a lot to talk about.
Hey, you told me that you met your wife in Shanghai, so did you take these photos yourself?
I took some of them. My father took most of them.
Your father was also in Shanghai too.
My father and my wife's father. They worked there. They only met because of us.
But what did they do there?
My father was a businessman. My father-in-law a missionary, an idealist. Thanks to the difference in religion, there was a lot of strife in our marriage.
But you married anyway.
Yes, but my father-in-law wouldn't let me in his house for years after.
He must not have realized that you were in love with each other.
He didn't. And when he found out, he cut her off from everything.
How did they reconcile?
Well, when you get to be my age, you realize that time is the great healer. And of course we had children, and what grandparents don't love their grandchildren?
Your story is like a novel or a movie. I never expected I'm going to know anyone in Canada to know this much about Shanghai.
I could tell you something else. I was born in Shanghai.
Really? You were born in Shanghai?
Yes, You know, all those 70 years seem like a day. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like something to drink?
So, tell me, Chun, what does Zhu Yingtai feel right now?
She wants to see her parents as soon as possible.
Then why isn't she on a boat crossing the river?
Because she wants to stay longer with Liang Shanbo.
Why?
Because she likes him.
Not likes, loves him.
It's the same.
No, it's not! Look, just because you like me doesn't mean you love me and may want to marry me.
For us, it's the same. We don't use that other word.
Oh, but I'll say it for you, Chun. I'll say it for you, too.
We'll help you too! Stick to your likes, Ryan! And if you guys play the wrong music one more time, I'm gonna make you listen to rap until you beg for mercy!
Do you like it?
Yes, it's good.
I made it especially for you.
Thank you.
I learned to make it in Shanghai.
Oh, did you? Do you still remember which district you lived in Shanghai?
Oh, of course. I could forget where I live now, but I remember the old neighborhood. Do you know Hanson Road where Jinting Temple is?
Of course, that's the most expensive area in Shanghai.
When I was young, it was lined with beautiful trees. It used to be a place for all the foreigners to live.
It's even more beautiful now that the sidewalks have been restored.
I was about your age when I left. I think of it often, after all these years.
If you liked Shanghai that much and met your wife there, then why did you leave?
I knew you were going to ask that question. Follow me.
I don't want to hear anyone except for Chun to talk about love.
But there's no line for me with that word.
Your line is in your dance. Let your body tell the audience that you want Liang Shanbo's love.
Let me try, but...
No but! Okay, both of you, get back into your starting positions. Get the music ready!
I like hearing you say like.
My dearest friend, don't worry so. Your father's good health, the God will restore. What you are trying to tell me, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Stop!
I feel sorry for the poor girl.
Open this box.
What is this, Mr. Robbins?
I can't figure out what's holding you back. Why can't you express your love in the dance?
I'm really trying, but...
But what?
But I don't think that Zhu Yingtai should be so bold. She's supposed to be...
Subtle?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Why?
I don't want to make Zhu Yingtai look like she's going crazy. Chinese girls don't behave this way.
Chinese girls don't go crazy when they're in love?
Yeah, looks like the Chinese don't too much talking about going to bed with each other.
Oh, that's okay. They must have their own way of dealing with each other.
So, if I want to make out with a girl I like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you're better off just to forget it. For now.
He's right. You start mooning around. You blow a rehearsal and Johnny takes a strip off my hide.
I haven't said a thing.
Look, Chun, we all think that Johnny came up with some pretty good choreography, and I'm positive you can dance it, so what's the problem?
I'm trying to express Zhu Yingtai's feelings.
Not only feelings, but also desire.
But I have expressed a desire too.
No, you haven't. Where was Zhu Yingtai's desire to be embraced? Liang Shanbo, you explain desire to Zhu Yingtai. No, you know what? Let me do it. Love between a beautiful girl and a handsome man sparks desire.
But Zhu Yingtai is educated and delicate. She would be subtle in showing her desire.
But this dance isn't about what Zhu Yingtai shows. It's about what's in her heart.
This is a business contract. Because of it, my father almost went bankrupt and had to leave Shanghai and return to Canada.
Is this why?
He had given a down payment to a contractor that he used all the time, and this down payment was 5 times what he had done in the past. And then the contractor disappeared.
That's awful.
My father took it pretty hard. I did what I could to help him. And then a young girl booked a passage on a steamer without her family knowing about it. And then one morning, showed up and knocked on our door.
I can see that the memory of Shanghai for you is not all happy.
Oh, there were some bad times, but they were good times. In fact, in the bad weather, my girl and I used to go down to the docks, sit there and watch the ships and the boats, and dream about tomorrow.
But I understand why you feel that, because I know that old Shanghai had a special meaning for you.
No, you're not like the other boys. You're certainly nothing like my sons. They think this is a worthless piece of paper. You're the only one who'd sit here and have the time to listen to an old man talk. I want to thank you.
Mr. Robbins, you exaggerated. I didn't do anything.
No. You probably look at this house and think that I have everything that I want. I'm the only one that knows what this house needs. So, thank you.
Hey girls, don't need to look so down. Rehearsals are always kind of a bit sketchy at first, you know, so it's nothing to get upset about. You know, Johnny can be a bit of a tyrant, you know, say some harsh things, but he's a director, you know. He wants what he wants, he kind of gets what he gets.
He's a director, so what? 刘纯，其实我觉得你演得挺好的。刚才呀，我在侧幕条看你演出的时候，连大气都不敢出呢。
你们说好有什么用啊？导演不满意，全是白搭。
Johnny's explanations didn't really convince you, did they?
I can't accept Johnny's explanations. I just can't feel the role the way he wants me to. The problem is that I think Zhu Yingtai needs to act like a girl, so Liang Shanbo can realize she is one.
Yes, you're right. We are not trying to get Liang Shanbo to fall in love with a boy. And if it did, he would have a serious problem.
Liang Shanbo doesn't have a problem, Zhu Yingtai does. Look, you've got the making of a very fine actress, but you play the farewell scene completely as a girl. Your body language stops being that of Liang Shanbo's classmate. You become Miss Zhu Yingtai in a man's costume. That's not the way to play it.
Look, Johnny, I think Chun knows what you want. I just think you have to give her a bit more time to figure out how to show it.
Yeah, but this isn't the first rehearsal. Aren't you worried too?
We have plenty of time to get it right, but we need to let the actors get a feel for the final play as soon as it's possible. After that, we can rework the key scenes. I thought we had already agreed to do it this way before we started.
Derek's right. We can't stay on the farewell scene forever. Zhu Yingtai still needs to get home to her parents. There's a lot to cover after that. Look, Chun, just think about what I said. Maybe you can surprise us next time you're on stage. Miss Yin-Shin, you made a lot of progress today. Make sure you tell Charlie that if he wants to do you any justice, he's got a lot of work to do. Okay, that's enough for today. I'll see you all at next rehearsal.